Lady Antonia, this is an extraordinary book. It's beautiful, it's heartbreaking, it's smart, it's deft, and as an introduction to those who haven't had the pleasure of reading it yet, I wonder if you wouldn't mind telling us the story of your meeting with Harold Pinter that gives the book its title.
It was January the 8th, 1975, a date we subsequently celebrated for reasons that I hope you will discover. And I'd been asked to go to the first night of Harold's play, in revival, of course, in a sort of mid-town theatre. It was the birthday party. And I went to it, and it was directed by my brother-in-law, Kevin Billington. And afterwards, he and my sister Rachel, novelist, had a party at their house, which wasn't very far from my house. And I was rather disappointed not to be sat next to Harold. I thought he looked rather fascinating. Sort of bright eyes, and black curls, and sort of rather pointed ears, like a satyr, but I wasn't. And then my neighbours offered me a lift, and I said, well, hang on, I've not said hello to Harold Pinter all evening, and I must go and say, wonderful play, amazing actors, blah, blah, blah. Then I'll be with you. So I went up. Harold was actually sitting down, and I said, wonderful play, amazing actors, blah, 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 and now I must be off. He looked up with these black eyes and said, must you go? And I thought, must get up in the morning, take the children to school, must go shopping for groceries, must write King Charles II, And, and I said, well, no, it's not absolutely essential. And I stayed. The problem we didn't have was the problem of making our name. I think because I've known, contemporaries, young couples, one, particularly I think two actors living together, the best will in the world. One will draw ahead like two trains, and one will then draw back, one will get work, one won't, and all the rest of it. We simply didn't have that problem. There couldn't be anything competitive. Harold was, as I said, I think 44, but there's a wonderful quote from the English Times, Harold Pinter is arguably the best living playwright, and Harold always added, and plenty of people are arguing about it. And I was a respected biographer, so that we didn't have to sort of make our names, I mean, a lot of people have said that in England, but the fact is, in England, almost everyone is lucky if they can avoid studying Harold's plays at A-level or O-level, because they're sort of perfect fodder for study, because it isn't obvious what they mean. Everybody can have their own interpretation. And also, on the whole, they're not of any particular time and place. I don't think Harold wrote particularly from personal experience. He would take things, but I think it was a sort of interior inspiration. So I think that his cricket team, who knew a jolly fellow, very competitive, very keen on the game, and everybody playing up, I think that they saw another side of him. He's extremely athletic.
Right.
Really was proud at school of having been Pinter the sprinter and having broken records. And that, I think, would take the people who study The Caretaker by surprise.
Absolutely.
So that I think people said ambiguous, ambivalent, dark, menacing plays, that's the man. But of course, nothing is more mistaken than to equate the artist and the work.